Overthinking will ruin your life. Now, I'd like to take you guys back around 3 years ago and tell you the story about my first relationship and how overthinking ruined it and almost ruined me. So, I saw this girl, and for the sake of her identity, we'll name her Blue. And I'd never spoken to Blue before. In fact, I didn't know her whatsoever, but I really liked her, or at least the idea of her. And Blue didn't know me either. In fact, I don't think Blue even noticed me whatsoever. And a few months went by, and Blue ended up in my friend group. And this was great, because me and Blue got to know each other. And we ended up spending a lot of time together, and, well, from there, we ended up becoming more than friends. We were spending so much time just enjoying each other's company. But there was a problem. Blue liked someone else, and this caused so many problems in my head, because all I could think about was, why doesn't Blue like me? What have I done wrong? Surely if I change something or if I do something, then Blue will like me. And this was never the case. So a few weeks go by, I'd stopped talking to Blue because I felt betrayed. And Blue comes back to me and says, I really like you, and I want to be with you. Now, I lacked any self-control, and of course the opportunity I've been waiting for so long was right in front of my eyes. So of course I said yes, and me and Blue ended up in a relationship. Now, this seems to be great. I had everything I'd ever wanted, and I ruined it because I could only think about one thing. How could I keep Blue liking me? How could we stay together? Because I didn't want to lose the thing that I'd wanted for so long. And I would overthink. I would always go through every situation, every possible way, to make sure that Blue would stay with me. And this gave me the illusion of having control, because I was trying to predict every single outcome, just so I could avoid the pain of losing her, or, well, being a failure. In fact, what this was doing is causing me to live in hypotheticals instead of reality. And this meant that every day, me and Blue would see each other, and we'd be living completely different perspectives. All I could think about was, how could I keep Blue with me? Did I do something wrong? Are we going to be okay? Blue was just thinking, oh, I like spending time with this person. So I was creating imaginary versions of this pain of breaking up literally before it had even happened. In fact, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the overthinking. My overthinking disconnected me entirely, and it killed who I was. It killed my personality, killed everything, because I was acting entirely differently. All I could think about was trying to keep Blue with me, and this led to me becoming a different person entirely. In fact, me and Blue ended up spending less time together, because Blue couldn't handle the fact that I was being so overbearing, because I just wanted to be close, just to delay that feeling of dread that we were going to break up. And of course, it happened. If you're in a relationship and you start acting like a completely different person, the person who's with you won't want to be with you anymore. So me and Blue ended up breaking up, and this sent me down a complete spiral, because I didn't understand why, because of course I was living in a completely different reality in my head to what was actually going on. Everyone else around me could see it, but I couldn't, because I was overthinking so much. I was just living a different life entirely. The main takeaway from that story is that overthinking is really a problem. It just causes self-destruction, because while you're here thinking about what could actually happen, life is passing you by the second. In fact, you're trying to figure things out, to control every single moment, and that moment is gone. It has been gone long before you had your thousandth thought about it. And what a really good thing to know is that your overthinking won't matter in a year. In fact, it won't matter in a month. In fact, usually it won't matter in a day. Because think about, for example, an exam. It's the make or break moment. It's something that if you fail, you feel like your whole life is going to be turned upside down. And give it a month, the exam's over, and you couldn't even think about it anymore. Give it a year, and you barely remember that exam existed. You can't remember walking to the exam hall, you can't remember a thing about it. So, you need to start living in the present. You need to start actually living life, and not living that version that's in your head. If you're scared of what's going to happen, that's fine. We're human, we're supposed to be scared, but we're not supposed to sit here and rot in our beds thinking about every single possible outcome before it's even happened. It's harming you. In fact, it's killing you. Overthinking really is. It will change you as a person. It will make you into someone who you don't want to be. And it did that to me, and it ruined my relationship. And in fact, it almost ruined my life, because after that happened, I couldn't live with myself. I'd finally realised, after a year, what actually happened, why it actually didn't work. I'd finally come to terms with it. I ruined the thing I wanted most in my life. I didn't want to live anymore because I felt like such a failure, such an awful person. And I'm really glad that I managed to find healthy ways to fix that, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here today. I know it's deep for a YouTube video, but I didn't want to live anymore, because I didn't want to live with myself. I didn't want to live with the fact that me thinking about something that could possibly happen over and over and over again in 1,000 different ways was going to be the harsh truth of how I would live. I couldn't deal with it, and I'm hoping that won't happen to you, because when you watch this video, I'm hoping you'll see that living in your head for the rest of your life isn't living. It's hell. It's called being trapped in a place where you don't want to ever be, because you will slowly lose everything you ever were. So I want to thank you guys for listening. I hope you're doing okay. I know life is probably quite hard. Maybe you're doing well. But I just want to say good luck. Good luck for overcoming every challenge you're going to face. Good luck for the hard thing that's going to happen in your life that you have to come to terms with or deal with. Good luck for becoming the person that you want to be. And good luck for just living, because it's hard, but we're doing our best. And I'm so proud of you. So please, keep going and try your best to stop overthinking, because if you don't, it will ruin your life. And nothing beats a Minecraft sunset. Look at those colours. While I'm here talking to you about living, I'm here playing Minecraft, wishing I was alive. Good luck and goodbye.